everybody, Will, just time prepping. Had to get up and go get my paper. So I got a little space between me and the camera today because I woke up and the whole side of my face was swollen up, so I don't know what's going on with that. So just gonna have to bear with me. There's one person I left off to shout out yesterday. He needs a lot of help right now. He's got not very many subs, but he's got really good content. And that is Abriva. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would go over there and check him out. And if that's something you'd be interested in, go ahead and sub him up. And share it with all your friends because he's got things to do with seeds and plantings. So if shit was just to hit the fan or something, he can give you some ideas of how to be able to start over again. So go check him out. He's a really good dude. No, it's not the cold medicine, but it's spelled like that. Okay, so yesterday we left off with SWAT. So today, what we're gonna do, I'm trying to get my notes out here, guys, so hold on. Come on. What the heck happened here? Oh, there it is. So I told you today we were gonna learn how to be living debt-free. So, because that's gotta be all part of your survival plan. It's great to be prepared at the end days scenario, but what happens when you're faced with a foreclosure of your property or so that you're living on the streets? So, to be truly prepared for the worst, we must also think of our financial security. And that means paying off your debt and living within your means and starting your emergency food stores. See, remember I told you food, water, food, and shelter. So that's where we're going to go at today is trying to make that part of your survival plan. So, you know, the average American has over $15,000 just in credit card debt. So it's a staggering debt, and it's over $75,000. And that's scary enough, but to factor in another $130,000, and that would be what every taxpayer would have to shell out just to pay off the national debt. Our country's financial situation is looking pretty bleak right now. So, yeah, I hope you guys got your notepad out and everything. That's what I had to go do before I could start up. I got a little late start, like I said, because something going on. I got some sort of infection or something going on. So, we're going to go that as the country falls deeper into economic turmoil, living a debt-free lifestyle can help shield you from some of the initial pain. And then as things start to get worse, creditors are going to step up their collection efforts, meaning that those rich folks are still going to want their money no matter what. So they're going to come after you hard and heavy. And so that's where you need to start paying off your debts and trying to live as free as possible, debt-free as possible. So remember, debtor prisons were once a real thing. So here in America, if things get bad enough, they could make a big comeback. So we're going to talk about 5 ideas for living debt-free. One is to establish a budget. It's really amazing. A lot of people do this. Don't get me wrong, but most everybody has a budget already. But establishing a written budget, and that was to help sure that every dollar you make works for you and not against you. That means that you can pay off your credit cards and things like that. Just live within your means. At the end of every month, you should have a written plan for every dollar that you're bringing in and paying out. Establishing a budget can help you realize how much money you spend on things that really aren't necessary. So they go on to talk about people using the envelope system where you put, this is how I even learned, I was taught this by someone else, is that you take envelopes and you write on the front of them what each one is for, like your rent or your mortgage payment or your electricity or something like that, and you put the money in each envelope, and then what's left over is for your food. You could actually make an envelope and say you're only going to spend X amount of dollars for your food. So this is something like what they're trying to tell you to do. If you're not really good at budgeting, maybe that would work for you. So if you don't do something within your budget, then, oh man, if you don't do something within your budget, it starts to snowball on you. So paying off debt can sometimes seem overwhelming, but if you do it every month, just the way that your plan says, you'll find that slowly you're starting to work your way out of the money pit that you've got yourself into. So baby step number 2 would be the debt snowball, which suggests that you list your debts from the smallest to the largest, and then start with the small debts first. Pay the small debts off first. And then the rationality is actually pretty simple, that the motivation that you obtain from paying off the small ones first, then you start feeling better about yourself. And so by the time you get to the higher debt, then it's easier for you to pay that off. Okay, they're saying that personal finance is 20% head knowledge and 80% of your behavior. So when it comes right down to it, we all know that what we should be doing. It's just that we choose not to do it that way. So they're telling you to stop going into debt and just living within your means. So the biggest scam of the financial institution is that Americans, that is a myth, is your credit score. Somehow equals your financial security. And I don't know about you guys, but credit scores are more or less a scam. It's so that they know how much money that you've got, what you're spending. This credit score tells your creditors how much you spend that you don't really need to. And the only way to really maintain the high credit score is to continuously borrow money. That's how you build it, so that they know you're good at repaying your debts. So when you pay the money off and pretty much live in a debt-free world, then they don't know how much money you have, and you can actually start saving money doing it that way. The only thing that having a high credit score means is that you're actually a good risk for borrowing money. So that's what they want you to do, is they want you to be able to borrow more money, or to borrow money to pay for things. That's like your car payment. You borrow money for your car, or you borrow money to put new furniture in your house. Things like that, you know. So that's a good way for the government to figure out how much money that you're making and how good you are at either saving it or spending it. Most people are spending it faster than they can save it, because if they have extra, they tend to go out and buy more stuff that they don't really need. So in the long run, one of the best ways to increase your cash flow is to go into business for yourself. Whether you're a mechanic or a car salesman, even a factory worker, if you have the talents that you can use outside of the workplace, you could actually start your own business doing something that you already know about. So if you take it like the mechanic, for example, instead of making your boss rich, why not make yourself self-reliant so that you don't have any debts? So you can see that the way the world works on your debts is that the government and the richer people, the people that own the big companies and stuff, they actually want you to make enough money to go into debt. And that will in turn raise your credit score, which in turn tells them that you're making more money in turn. So you can see is they've constantly got their hand in your pocket. So we actually got through that one pretty fast. So we're going to go into one that everybody can do, even me. I'm working on mine already as I'm trying to do some workouts in the house for when the weather decreases outside and warms up a little bit. I can start walking and doing things outside. That comes into number 5 of get in shape now. So no matter what your survival situation, you're ultimately going to be on your own. And if you think you can put a backpack on and walk 5 to 15 miles by yourself, if you're out of shape, you're fooling yourself. It's not going to happen. So that's going to cause you to have to bug in, which means stay where you're at. And another thing that makes you bug in is your debt. If you are high in debt, you don't have the money you need to bug out in a disastrous situation. So it kind of goes hand in hand there. So they're saying to start getting in shape so that if a disaster hits or we should go to war or whatever, then we would be in shape to be able to put a backpack on, maybe walk 5 to 15 miles a day to get to a safe place, you know. And that's what they're saying. So one of the best things that you can do to ensure your survival is in just about any situation is to make sure that your body and your mind are trained to survive. And we talked about this in the past about training your brain. So this means that motivating yourself to get off your butt and get in shape. That's basically what I was telling you is over the winter I've put on, probably 40 pounds that I don't like having on. So I'm starting to work out now so that by the time the weather breaks, I can get out and do more exercising and get my weight down to where I need to be. That's basically what they're telling you to do. So now a number of the so-called experts are probably screaming at the screen saying, what do you mean it doesn't matter what program to choose? Well, stick with me here, okay? If you're a fitness guru and all you do is work out, then this article isn't meant for you, okay? What I'm talking about is those who they're out of shape and that they really haven't done much about it. So if you're in shape and whatnot, you could probably just forget about listening to this, but I can tell you to go ahead and keep staying in shape. I have a few friends who work out. That doesn't mean that I work out, okay? But by them working out, they kind of make you look bad, and you can even, it's a mental thing, is that if they're in shape, then you're looking at them and you're saying, gosh, geez, I wish I was like that, you know, but the only way you get like that is you have to work out, you have to exercise to get that way. So inconsistency is, don't want to say the word, but I have to say it instills laziness and a lack of motivation. Now, while these things are horrible for your body, they're actually great for most of these companies. Excuse me. In fact, many of them count on your lack of motivation in order to drive their profits up. Because they make their money off people they sign up for the health clubs. They sign up for all these diets that you see on TV. So they're actually making money off us being unhealthy. And so the best way to keep them from getting in our pockets to make us healthy is just to get healthy and stay that way by eating properly and exercising without buying all this extra stuff, the diet plans, the gym fees or going out and buying your own mini gym and putting it in the basement, whatever, something like that. So what we need to do as individuals is get an exercise regime and stick to it. Don't drop off of it. Stay with it. Stick to it. Just get in shape. Now, the biggest hurdle in staying motivated, studies show that if you can stick to something for at least 30 days, it usually becomes a habit that will stay with you for your life. So why not challenge yourself and commit to starting a basic exercise plan? For 30 days, commit to a 30-minute time frame that is dedicated to getting you in shape. Even if it's just taking a 30-minute walk in the morning, schedule it so that you can stick to it. At the end of those 30 days, I'll bet that you'll look forward to the time of doing it because it becomes a habit. If you don't do it, you go, oh, I forgot to do that. Now you feel guilty for not doing it. So if you really want to challenge yourself after the 30 days, you need to get a little bit of structure in your life. I suggest checking out things like the P90X, the 90-day Extreme Home Fitness Workout Program, something like that. And then it becomes even more of a habit, and the more of a habit that you get into, the better shape you're going to feel physically and mentally. So I'm going to stop it right there for today because I'm looking at my timer and I've gone over again. And it's easy to do when you're talking about things. But I'm going to stop it right there, and then tomorrow we're going to go, tomorrow's Friday. So Friday we'll do another one of these lessons, and we're going to start with how you're going to train your mind. And then the weekend I'll give you guys a break and let you absorb all of this stuff. On Saturday we're going to make a live animal trap. We're going to make a trap that can catch your animals live, and then you can take care of them that way. Some people don't like to hunt. So we're going to make a live trap where the animal comes to you, and then you can deal with it your own way that way. So I hope you guys got something out of today's video, because I did. I heard a lot of things I didn't like hearing, but at the same time it kind of hit close to home for me, and so I hope it did for you too. So as usual, I'm going to tell you guys, I've already told you guys, but I'll tell you again, we're going to go on a live stream on Saturday. We'll start it at 8 o'clock, and I want to see you guys there so we can talk and have a good time and talk about some of the stuff I've been talking about this week. That way we kind of keep everything moving along. And then Monday we'll start in on, I'm hoping by Monday that we can start on learning how to be prepared to bug out if we have to. I mean, everybody wants to stay where they are if they can, but there's going to be situations where you can't stay where you are, so you have to be prepared to know how to bug out, and we're going to learn how to do that. So for now, that's all I have for you. I want you guys to hit that like button, smash that like button, give me a thumbs up, and share this video with your friends. And if you get a chance, I'd like for you guys to play my playlist through when you go to bed at night. YouTube has done one of their famous Voodoo Hoodoo and taken a few of my watch minutes away, so I'd like to try to regain those before February 20th, if at all possible. So, and till next time, God bless me, God bless you, and God bless US of A. Thanks for watching.